Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibe or ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Previously, on Heroes of the Hydian Way. Our heroes arrived too late at a crashed ship. Called to action by a dying wish and a mysterious memory, they took the ship and the crew's dangerous treasure, a broken Jedi relic, the holocron of Suljo Ward. Now on Cato Nemoidia, they delve into the shifting shadows of war and current factions, seeking clues to the missing crystals. Along their way, they have met bartenders, informants, businessmen, gang members, and even an Imperial officer. Each conversation, another reverberation in the warp and weft of Jaro. In a city so full of the susurrations of secrets, someone is always listening. Join them this week as things reach a crescendo.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Fantasy Flight Games' Force and Destiny system, using the Chronicles of the Gatekeeper adventure as developed by Tim Cox and Max Brook. This is Act 2, Episode 11, and I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure.
I'm Koba, a Doug investigator. That's all I am.
You're no longer a Sheehan expert?
Look, if I took all the time to say all the things I am, the Imperials would be in here before we got to learn what we need to learn. Just trying to, be quick about it.
Are you done so I can be quick about it?
I don't know. I think Kesh probably owes me an apology.
Kesh, can I go?
Yeah, Hillary, you can go. I have nothing to say to go.
Thank you for your permission. It's welcomed, I suppose. I'm Hillary. I'm a teacher, also a learner. Go.
I'm Kesh, the Trandoshan Mystic Seer, and since we're trying to be quick about it, I hope your question, Skip, won't be towards Koba this evening.
Well, it definitely isn't now. Hi, I'm Skip, and I'm a Galarian Seeker Hermit, and I don't know how to be brief, I think I'm gonna stop, because this is a lot of pressure to be brief, and I just want to keep rambling, so I'm gonna stop.
To learn more about our heroes, we get one to ask another a question, and it is now Skip's turn.
Still so much pressure. Alright, Kesh?
Yes?
Do you dream? Do Trandoshans dream? Do you think they mean anything if you do dream? If you don't, that's fine.
Yes, Trandoshans dream, like a lot of other sentients in the galaxy. If I'm honest, my dreams getting a little muddied between the all of the visions lately. Hard exactly to distinguish between the two. You understand. Lots of hunts and deep lessons and floating numbers above my head.
So you think those are dreams?
Well, I think they were visions. I just think the line is blurred somewhat. I mean, how do you distinguish between the two? Can you have a vision while you're sleeping? Can you have a dream while you're awake?
Do you think androids dream?
How's that pressure working out, Skip?
The camera picks up, and they're the four heroes sitting in a living room setting. And I'm assuming that, at least two of them are sitting on the sofa and one in the armchair with another armchair across a low coffee table. I'm not entirely certain where everyone would be sitting. There's a hollow screen that is across from the sofa. Tikadoken comes out from the fairly narrow kitchen with a small plate of cookies that have quickly been put onto the plate and setting it down onto the coffee table in front of everyone. Phineas said that you were going to be making it here, and you were wanting to know about Ward, and that you could be trusted, at least not to do anything too rash. I did know Sojo when I was barely older than a grub. I know what everyone says about him, but Sojo was a good man and a good Jedi. He saved my family when we were caught in the middle of a battle, even. And I know we would have died without his help. They say he was cruel and unfairly punished Nemoidians with imprisonment or even worse, but those were different times for everyone. There were so many spies and people with bombs. He was only doing what he thought was necessary here. And with that, she sort of sags, and if no one's taking it, she'll go into the free chair.
Would Koba have actually sat down, or would Koba be, like, on alert?
Kobo would have sat down.
Okay.
Wouldn't have gotten too comfortable.
We're all like squished in together on the same couch.
Yeah, the three of you are on the couch, and Hillary took the armchair. Very comfortably.
I feel like Skip is more of a floor hunker down sort of
I kind
person.
of figured, but I was just wondering.
You know, I think we all have that friend, and I'm often that friend who will just sit on the floor.
I pace usually, but Hillary's not a pacer. You can ask Christine. I sit on the stairs.
I came to know Sojo after he saved my family and from some debris that fell in one of the battles. We were evacuating and we were on one of the promenades. My parents hugged us in. We just sort of stopped and they hugged us in for a minute or two. And then when we looked up, there was Sojo standing there. A large piece of building was just off to the side where he had apparently moved it. But he was here for a long while, or longer, definitely longer than he wanted. The more time Sojo stayed in Jorah, the more he seemed to change. I saw him less and less, and when he did show up and try and talk, he seemed to be a lot more withdrawn and very, very worried. He went from being pretty friendly to being pretty prickly. His optimism sort of seemed to flow away from him. Nowadays, I can't even talk about Sojo to anyone. You bring him up and they just say that he's a criminal and a murderer. But, like, I know he put a lot of people into the prison, but I don't know. He tried to do so much good, at least early on. And then, well, there was a fight that went on. There was some negotiations that were happening, and then Sojo got involved with a fight right as when they were starting with the separatist delegation, and most of the people around here blame Sojo for prolonging the fighting and the war here on Cado Nemoidia. They were supposedly trying to negotiate an end to hostilities here, to surrender, but something happened, there was a fight, and Sojo... after that incident, Sojo disappeared from Nemoidia, and he's not been seen since. Like, I know he left. Some people, many of the people out there say he's dead, hope that he's dead, but no, I know he's not. No one's found any trace of him after, like, not even his lightsaber. He may have changed, but I know he had a good heart and honorable intentions here. He wanted to protect people. And she'll slump into the chair. She's just sort of looking at the plate of cookies.
Several of which have disappeared into pouches.
What else do you know about this fight? Ward was in?
All that I really know from the time and all that I've learned from since has been there was a separatist delegation that was of local leaders, 3 of them, I think, and they were coming to the Republic leadership, the Jedi generals, and they were going to be here to negotiate the peace, but then something happened, and I've never been able to find out what.
Are any members of this delegation still alive today?
I don't believe so. I had heard that Soljo had killed all of them, and even a couple of the Jedi that he was with. I wish I could help you a bit more with this, but I was just a child, barely more than a grub. And Soljo didn't tell me much. He was mostly there to try and help me with my day-to-day, and he showed me a few things here and there, but maybe Torhaldo has the information you're looking for. He was a friend of Soljo, I think, and, well, he helped him out a lot. Not really seen Tor in years, but I believe he's still supervisor at the factory Dornesk 13. I do hope you find what you're looking for. I know Soljo was a good man, no matter what anyone says.
What was the name of the factory supervisor?
It is Tor Hido.
And where?
Dornisk 13? Where is that?
Is it a planet or a city? A moon?
It is on planet.
Okay. Oh, they're letters.
It's Arbesh. Going by the name of it, you're pretty sure that's a factory complex in the industrial sector.
I'm sorry, it was a what in the industrial sector?
A factory in the industrial sector.
Do you think we could approach Torhaido with this question, or would it be a poor notion?
The last I had heard from Tor, he wasn't wanting to dwell too much on the days of the war, but he was a close confidant of Ward, and they spent so much time together. Asking him, yeah, I think he would be wanting to help you, especially if it's around something that Ward had or was doing. And I know that you had mentioned a crystal earlier. If anyone would know where the crystals are, it would be one of his friends and his informants.
Hillary's gonna look at Koba and kind of like shrug in that kind of, what do you think kind of way? Good to go?
Yeah. Guess we know what we need to know.
Well, thank you for your help, Tika. It was kind of you to offer any. And I'm sorry for your loss. It's never good. But this is hard in its own right. And thank you for the cookies. They were quite lovely.
You're very welcome.
Take care of yourself, my dear. Stay out of trouble and remember who you can fondly. They're your memories.
Thank you, and I do try and remember that.
He'll bow graciously, like sweeping, the slightly over the top bow, just because, she's nice and helpful and obviously not in a good spot. So, kind of to make a smile. And then looks up briefly from the bow to look at his comrades like, y'all gonna get off the couch? Or are we staying here?
Skip is just sort of looking at the floor, clearly doing some thinking.
Hey, Skip.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could give me a hand up? This couch is kind of saggy.
Yeah. And Skip is going to lean down on the coffee table and with one hand, and then help Kesh up with the other. And after they turn to leave, the spot where Skip leaned on the coffee table, there is 50 credits left there. Just who knows how they got there.
Oh, crazy. Crazy random happenstance. To the hallway. Would she have been able to give us like a number? Or just the directions?
Like a phone number?
Yes, just like a mode of contact.
She would have given you the contact code that she had for him.
Okay.
But they'd fallen out of contact, not really had a falling out, but they just sort of stopped talking to each other. After all, drifted apart,
just
I guess.
Faded. Wasn't through any hurt feelings, it just kind of went by the wayside.
Exactly, yes. As you're leaving the apartment complex, stepping out into the street to head towards the train station, to either go back to the starport or to get to the industrial sector, because you take the train in either case.
Fair.
Can I get a... I'm going to go with it's a hard vigilance check.
I offer nothing.
I offer quite a bit. I have 2 yellows, 2 greens, and a blue for vigilance.
I believe I offer other people assistance on vigilance.
That's right.
But my vigilance is not great myself. My vigilance is only 1 yellow, 2 green.
I've just got 2 greens and keen-eyed, which knocks setbacks off of vigilance.
I was all excited thinking that, oh, Brandon's only got 2 greens too. No, there's an and there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have keen-eyed as well. I forgot. So what kind of bonus do I get from Skip?
Double blues, right?
Boost, yes.
Is it 1 or 2?
Just looks...
I think it's an extra.
Oh, yes. Boost. Okay, yes, sorry.
Okay.
You are correct. I'm gonna actually write this down on the character sheet right now.
I'll believe it when I see it, Ren.
Are there any other boosts to account for from just the other heroes helping, or?
Yeah, I'd go with grand total of 4 boosts. 1 from each hero, and then the extra 1 from Skip.
And it was what, a red, a purple?
Red and 2 purples, yes.
Okay. No setbacks to worry about?
I mean, I could try and add them.
I mean, if you try and add one of them, I get to remove it. It just helps me out with talent bingo.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
no, it's one of those things I wasn't intending to.
Okay. Right.
Okay, yeah, I just wrote it down. So it's just this innate thing. If you're right beside me, it's boost. If you are within range, it's just boost. But if we're all just like right together, it's more.
Yeah, I'm figuring as the 4 of you go out the front door.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 yellows, 2 greens, 4 boosts versus a red and 2 purples. Out all that, only 1 success and 3 advantages.
But it's a success. So.
But it is a success.
We'll take it.
That is wow.
It's a lot of dice. And so with that, I'm figuring that Kesh would see it just before anyone got near enough that there's a little half dome that seems to be attached to the far side of a land speeder that's parked just outside the front door.
Like a turret?
No, more like a thermal detonator.
Bleh. That's worse.
Oh, so little half dome. Okay.
And you can see the lights on it flickering.
Okay, and this is how close to us?
It's counting down, but is currently at a close range. I figure it's about a car length from you.
How many people are, is this a crowded street or crowded area as we're leaving, or are we relatively isolated?
You're relatively isolated at the moment. There are people on the sidewalks, but there's no one around for good 20 meters on either side. Like at least a building width.
Okay. Let's do this. Kesh will yell out to the group, "Thermal detonator!" And then I'm going to try to shove the land speeder away from us.
Okay.
Ideally not into another building or other people, but trying to just, rather than try to pull us back, try to remove the immediate threat.
Okay, fair.
So a land speeder is how big?
Most land speeders are 2,
I was about to say they're twos, I think.
Okay.
They're 2 or 3, depending on if they're like 2-seater or 3-seater kind of things, basically.
I'm figuring that this would be like the fairly standard like Luke 1, so technically a 4-seater, but those are silhouette 2s.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that versus like a
Moving van?
large capacity or cargo sort of one.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely like a sedan.
This isn't likely to work, but it was the first thing that occurred to me, so it's probably the first thing that occurred to Kesh. So let's try this.
Nice.
I've rolled 2 light side pips and 3 dark side. So here's how they start getting me again. I'm going to flip the point. So I'm going to spend 1 light side pip to activate move. I spend a second one to activate strength to bring me up to a silhouette 1 target. I flip the light side point, so I need to take a strain and a conflict for bumping up strength to silhouette 2. And then do I need to increase my range in order to move this further away? I do, right?
You would be needing to move this to short range at least.
I can do short range already.
Yeah. So in that case, yeah, you'd only need to use the 1 pip.
Then I will be content there. I will take only the 1 strain and 1 conflict, as I'm just going to lift it and shove it. Again, not too far away, but just try to far enough where we're either on the outside of the blast or hopefully outside of it.
I'm figuring you'd be able to shove it far enough. I've got nothing saying that the blast on the thermal detonator's larger than usual, so you'd be able to shove it far enough.
And from my earlier advantages, could I spend some to recover strain?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do that because I had more than I felt comfortable with. Okay. All right.
I hear that's important when you're a wizard.
So it is.
You shove. It's out in the middle of the street now on the double yellow line. Everyone's looking around for a second or 2 afterwards, and then it erupts in an explosion, which then causes it's one of those more sci-fi explosions where you initially see this ball of white light come out, then collapse quickly in, and the actual explosion happens, where the clap just happens, the rumble happens, and there are the 4 of you standing there. As that starts to fade away, as your ears slowly stop ringing, a person in laminate armor drops down from a balcony on the opposite side of the street, landing onto the roof of another land speeder and then stepping off. It looks like they're proceeding to crack their knuckles as they are walking towards the 4 of you. They're tall for a human, but they're still possibly human. And they've got 5 fingers from what you can see. They do have on a mounted apparatus carbine of some variety that looks like it would be a quick thing for them to pull if needed. But at the moment, they just seem to be cracking their knuckles. The armor itself is in this dull black laminate plate as they slowly walk towards you.
So they don't look Empire, they just look armored.
They look armored, and it looks custom.
Custom, okay.
And as they get close, they start up with,
I didn't think that it would be people like you. You definitely aren't like any of the last owners of that ship. But Bob and Doug said that you were the ones who came off of the Silvered Shell. There's something on that ship that I know is there.
You're Dalen Oberus, aren't you?
Wait, what? Sorry. Wait, what?
he'll tilt his head to the side and holds a hand up to his chest.
Cash, I'm honored. I didn't think that you remembered me.
I tried hard to forget. Nice new armor you got there. But I guess you did need a new suit after that last job.
With the kind of bounties that I take now, it seemed to be a good idea to take.
We got nothing you're looking for. Just turn around. Walk away.
That's what the last owners of that ship said to me. I know that they were lying. Thinking that you and your friends here found what I wasn't able to.
Kesh is standing there, her claw tight around her staff. Her scarf billows a little bit from like a breeze coming through. She's staring him down right now. Well, I'm not going to let you on board.
You sure? We could all just go back to the Silver Shell and have a reasonable conversation. You could give me what I'm looking for, and this could all just be in the past.
How are the others reacting during all this?
Hillary started out, obviously, aghast, giant explosion in our faces, intimidating dude approaching us intimidatingly, like aggressively, and then his name?
Mm-hmm.
He started out by like kind of looking up at you like, that, wait, what? The reason I corrected it was, yeah, he said that. But as the conversation's been progressing, Hillary's face falls flat and he is gripping his tiny little fists. He doesn't have a role to play in a fight, but he is not happy. You can probably feel his tension just radiating off of him as he stands there, this little ball of rage. But he's not saying anything, he's just staring.
What about Koba?
I mean, Koba's ready for something to start, but clearly this is, Kesh is kind of taking charge a bit more here, so not starting anything himself yet.
And Skip?
That depends. I was waiting for a good moment to ask Ben, how much natural world is around us, or is this all very city?
The most natural part that you've got is going to be the ashwell that's everyone's standing around.
Yeah, okay.
This is a relatively medium to high end area that it's very, very Art Deco-y look to it, so it's mostly glass and metal.
All right, then in that case, Skip is mostly just standing there. Their eyes are sort of darting around, but has not made a move to do anything. It's clearly thinking.
So Kesh is staring him down. She can tell everybody's tense around her, but nobody is taking immediate action. And Dalen isn't either. He seems to be waiting for her next move, or like this were like an Old West duel about to happen.
And he is walking closer. It doesn't look like he is considering you enough of a threat that he would have his carbine pulled, but he is walking closer, and you can see that the gauntlets that he has are at least assisted. It does have some form of power assist to it.
Well, it's such a bad idea, but it's a good cinematic moment. So I'm going to do it. Kesh's left claw naturally falls down towards her hip, where she's still used to wearing a blaster until quite recently. She has to remind herself that she decided not to take it. She's kind of grown beyond it. And then she starts to prepare for her replacement strike. And when Dalen moves within short range, she starts to channel her gift, expecting more that she's going to pick up something in the area to hurl at Dalen. However, what happens instead is, I guess I'm going to go with the classic for her. I was debating on doing something different, but lightning begins to spark around her claws, go up her arm a little bit as she thrusts her arm forward, and a blast of lightning is going to fly towards him as I want to use Unleash, Ben.
Da, 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 da.
So I've never used this ability. Actually, it's not true. I've used this ability on evil NPCs before. I've never used this as PC. It just says it's an average discipline check as part of the pool. Would that be that would be upgraded if he's an adversary, right?
Yeah, I'm figuring that this would be pretty much like shooting someone.
Okay.
Yes, so this would be upgraded twice.
Okay, so two red. Do I need to worry about any defense?
Oh, right, yes, 1.
Again, don't know if it applies or not, but okay. So
especially to Dallin, it does feel like it should apply.
Okay, I absolutely agree. Just double checking. This is not the easiest thing to use, but okay.
That's not why you're using it.
No, I'm using it for Rule of Cool, of course. All right. So it's 2 yellow, 2 green for my discipline versus 2 red, a setback, and my 3 force dice.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Oh, okay. This is a roll to remember. I got 4 successes, 1 triumph, 1 despair, 1 light side pip, 2 dark side pips. Okay.
Now you drop your hands. I don't know.
Okay. So I want this to work because it's cool, and I'm just gonna rack up the conflict. Sure, why not? So I gotta flip a light side point to make sure this thing works. So I gotta take another strain, second conflict for that, and a third conflict just for using this in the first place. Yay!
For using Unleash.
Yeah, because I'm using Unleash. So I'm only spending 1 of those pips because I need 2 to activate it, and I have no upgrades to warrant spending the remaining pip. So yeah, I'm at 3 conflict total now, Leslie.
Good gravy.
So then the damage is my willpower of 4 plus the 4 successes, so it'll be 8 damage to him.
That soak would apply to.
It does. Yeah, soak definitely applies. So does it injure him?
It does look like they tense up a bit, and you can see some smoke pull off of him. And if you could see his eyes, they would be then just glaring at you. You can see by his posture, yes, it definitely did get through the armor.
Then I'm going to crit him.
He will then sort of rise up and just glare at you through the mirror-shaded helmet that's on. Absolutely crit him.
Yeah, I rolled only a 9. The target can only act during the last allied initiative slot on his next turn, so, yeah.
Oh, it's only for a turn. Sweet.
Yep. But that's how I'm spending the triumph. You have a despair.
Okay, since this is happening before initiative, I am thinking that with the despair, and I'm going to give him a couple strain for this, but he is going to get close enough to punch you.
Okay.
And you have defense, right?
I have he has to deal with 2 defense. And actually, Ben,
Yep.
I'm going to give him 2 more setback dice as I'm going to sense an advantage.
Okay, fair enough. He is going to be using that. He is essentially taking an extra maneuver to get in close enough to Cash and to try and punch Cash. Huh.
Okay. I didn't sense a very good advantage, but...
But at the same time...
At the same time, he's also pretty good at punching things.
Yeah.
So he is able to get in and able to get around Cash, shifting around with her staff and whatnot. And he gets 1 success, which means he does 7 damage with his gauntlets.
Okay.
And he has 2 advantage, which I'm going to go with he recovers strain.
Yakesh took 2 wounds off of that punch.
Okay, so we're even.
Yeah. As he just comes in and Cash tries to bring her, her arm that she had been directing towards him, back defensively, and sort of catches her in her good shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, that was a thing.
In that case, I'm sort of figuring initiative would be a good idea to go.
Since the fight began with the thermal detonator, technically, could this be vigilance?
Yes. It makes sense for all of you to use a vigilance, for him to use cool. Really? His presence is that high?
5 successes, 3 advantages. Nice. Good job, Skip.
Oh my goodness.
What? I did good.
Is everybody done?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to overwhelm D1.
No, I appreciate that.
Woohoo.
Okay, so for the first round, he is going at the end. So it's the 4 of you first, and then he goes.
Why is he going at the end?
The crit that Cash landed.
That's not what slowed down actually does.
Yeah, it's the last allied, so since he's the only person on his side, it doesn't affect him.
Oh. I mean, it is a 9.
I didn't roll very high, so yeah,
it's not a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has that
to be
hit
sure.
against him, so we've just got to work with that advantage we've got. He's already hurting-ish.
Yeah. He's got to have some kind of really impressive tricks to have much of a chance of lasting very long.
So I kind of already got my little moment there. Who wants to go?
I assume it's safe to say that Kesh is engaged with him?
Yes. He hasn't moved back.
Do you need me to get unengaged?
No, not necessarily.
I also don't care if you throw and hit me.
I think it'd be funny.
I'm contemplating something a little different, actually.
Okay.
So what range is... I guess it sounded like he came to Kesh, so I assume he's at like short range or something to the rest of us, essentially.
Yeah, I'm figuring he's at short range to everyone. He is only at engaged with Cash. Everyone else is at short range.
Okay, so what Koba's going to do, kind of quickly assess the situation, determine he does not want to fire or throw anything into that situation, but he will use misdirect.
Okay.
And what he's going to try to do with misdirect is attempt to make him unable to perceive Kesh.
So is that against a difficulty?
No.
Okay.
It's just I have to spend pips.
No, totally
That's
fair.
It's the base use of the power.
Because he has a ability if anyone's using a force power against him. But if you don't have a difficulty...
Yeah, no, base misdirect is just I have to spend pips. Of course, it doesn't work on something that is immune to the force, but...
No, it is a human. Or humanoid. I actually don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a droid and it's not a Toydarian. That's what they're called.
Yep.
Koba gets 2 light and 1 dark pip. I only need 1 light to do this at short range.
Okay.
And that lasts until the beginning of Koba's next turn.
Cool.
This guy just cannot perceive Kesh. Kesh is still visible and everything. It's not like Kesh has disappeared for anyone else. He just can't see her.
Okay.
Yeah, so she just vanishes as far as he's concerned.
Mhm.
Just poof.
And that was to the start of your next turn?
Yes, the effect lasts until the beginner of the Force user's next turn.
Okay.
So if Koba then takes to the end of the next round, it lasts for both of his instances.
And I haven't bought any of the upgrades that let me like commit dice to like hold an illusion, so it just it's going to be over then regardless of what I want it to be.
Okay. I'm just making a note that way I remember.
And then just maneuver, draw, and ignite lightsaber.
All right.
That's it for me.
All right. We have one more before he goes.
Do you have anything in mind, Ren?
No, I don't have anything specific. If you've got something.
Nothing really. I've got an idea, but it's not good.
I love bad ideas.
So, Cash has just fired lightning. He has just taken the hit, walked up, and punched her.
Yep.
Koba's done something that none of us notice. Because she's still there for us, right?
Yep.
We got not like
Koba probably makes like some kind of motion with the fingers of his free hand in Kesh's general direction that is maybe, a forcey sort of motion, but that's the only indication that you would necessarily have that anything's been done.
Gotcha. So the most obvious thing that you did was draw and ignite a lightsaber. Fair due. You know. Hillary, to one side and down, the camera was looking at Koba as he did his little whooshy woo, and then draws and ignites the lightsaber, and it turns back around to see the pair of them staring at each other, all angry and scary. And then it tilts, like it goes up and tilts down so that you see Hillary down next to Kesh, and he is just shaking with rage. His fists are just shaking, and he looks up at the figure and says, "You didn't just kill them. You didn't just do your job. You broke them. You destroyed them. And to all appearances, you did it very, very thoroughly, which indicates that you took your time. And then you killed them. They were people. They were people with families. And I don't know how many people else that you have ended with your ways, but I certainly hope that it ends today." He can't do a lot, but he is going to... Is the guy wearing a helmet?
Yes, he is.
Okay. I would like to parkour up and flip his helmet off and hurt him.
Okay.
Maybe I should specify. I would like to parkour up, rip his helmet off, and harm him.
That's what I was figuring.
Oh.
Yeah, I can go with that. There's enough rule of cool with this that I'm figuring, yeah, with your movement and that sure.
Okay, so it's just the two white, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's my
Okay,
on the
dice.
funny side.
That's 3 light.
Okay.
I don't have any extra targets I want to hit. So I have to spend pips to inflict a number of wounds equal to intellect, ignoring soak.
Yeah. And this is one case where it even ignores his armor. He has fun armor.
I'm worried by that fun armor. But that's 2 harm,
Okay.
plus 1 for my strength upgrade, and then plus 2 for my medicine ranks. So Hillary will grab, I don't know, like Kesh's belt or something and haul himself up with one hand, then grab onto the dude's armor and haul himself higher, like just kind of brachiate between the two, get up to head height, rip the helmet off with one hand, and then just kind of like hold him by the cheekbones or whatever equivalent he may have, and just repeat, "It will end today." And then do 5 harm, ignoring soak.
All right.
Hillary is now also very much in the way of everything.
All right. So then he would go next.
He can't see me.
He can't see
No.
much.
No, the eeny meeny's going between Hillary, who he would then try and rip off and essentially throw into something, or use the feature of his weapon mount, which is how I'm justifying it, and draw his carbine and shoot at Koba.
Does fight? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to punch. Yeah, the one who damaged him the most. And so far, Koba's just been defensive or seemingly defensive, pulling the lightsaber and not attacking. I'm going to go with he's going to punch Hillary.
Can I argue for a setback at least, since I'm really inconveniently located?
Yeah, I can go with that. And yeah, this actually technically is melee because of gauntletiness.
Okay.
Is that the technical term?
Sure.
I like it. Mm.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
we have another healer, right?
So he gets 3 successes, 2 threat, and 2 triumphs. Wow, I almost misread that.
Don't worry, I would have corrected you. I deserve what I'm getting.
Oh, I'm gonna take so much conflict.
What I am thinking is he does 9 damage from that. Just base damage is 6, plus 3 is 9. For one of the triumphs, I am wanting him to be able to reach up with his gauntlet. Like, he's not punching Hillary, he's grabbing Hillary and then essentially flinging Hillary forward. That is what's causing the damage to Hillary. So Hillary is now off of him, is really what it comes down to. And then for the other triumph, I am thinking, no, I'm not going to crit. I think he's going to roll back, get his helmet back on, and pull his carbine. Get in behind the back end of a land spear. So he's got a little bit of cover. He's got the carbine. He's reevaluating everyone. I'm thinking that he's essentially disengaged from Hillary and the rest of the group, and as it so happens, Cash as well, even though he currently can't see her.
Do you mind if I take the next slot, Ren?
No, of course.
Can I give a quick update?
Okay.
Are you unconscious?
So he grabbed Hillary kind of by the back of his collar and just whipped him. I'm going to say Hillary hit maybe a building or a fountain with a sickening thud, slid to the ground, and is not moving.
So you're past your wound threshold?
Yeah, because I still had wounds from last time.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
So you
Which
take another.
would actually
you take
do
a
a
crit.
crit.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to get this on the books.
Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
I think I
It's just one crit.
Constitution's never a dump stat.
I'm a tiny person, and I can't change that very easily in this game.
I know.
Apparently we're rolling really low for crits tonight. And
Okay.
this is a sudden jolt. The target drops whatever is currently in hand, as in themselves.
Yeah, I didn't have anything in my hand because I had his face in my hand.
And you dropped his face, yes.
All right, so we're gonna mark a note under crit. I have one.
Yeah, because it'll make any future ones worse if it
Yep.
isn't healed.
All right, we're going to do some things here. I'm going to start off with the Force as my ally. I'm going to take 2 strain and do a Force power as a maneuver. As Cash
Okay.
is going to... So he went behind like another speeder, right?
Yes.
He's at what, short range for me?
Yep.
I want to bring the speeder up and then drop it back down on top of him.
Okay. Think that's 4 pips? Or is it just 3?
So for a move check, if it's another silhouette 2, I
Yeah.
will need 3 pips to pick it up, and then I have to hit him as well with a discipline range combat check.
Okay. So that'll be upgraded twice because I consider
Yes.
it just makes sense that we're using his adversary instead of his resistance, and 1 setback for the defense.
Yes.
And since you're moving his cover, that doesn't count.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it will benefit Skip a little bit.
Lesson behind all of this: do not get behind cover when Kesh is around.
Mhm.
Or when
At least
you
there
knock
aren't any
out
chairs for her to
Cash's friend. As we can see her,
Yeah.
her reptilian face is currently like curled up in sort of a snarl as she goes to do this. Okay, yeah, and I need 3 pips. Okay, 2 successes, 1 advantage, 4 light side pips, and 1 dark side pip.
Okay.
So if it's a silhouette 2 car, right?
Yep. So that's 22 damage.
Yes.
I think that might get through a soak.
So I'll spend 3 of those pips to lift it and drop it back down on top of him. How is he looking after that?
Oh, honestly, at the moment, it's kind of hard to tell because there's a car on top of him. But the car does look like it's moving.
Okay, so then is he out of my sight now that I've dropped this on top of him, or?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
I think you can, like, see a foot.
I mean, I could do it again. I was going to do something else with move at the same time, but I can't see his blaster. So I could just lift it and drop it on him again, but I think Hillary is... No, that takes a maneuver too. This is not this is Star Wars.
I'm going to end up going over to Hillary because with the cars on him, I have nothing. I can't see anything to shoot, so...
Okay.
Gel packs in the
I
car?
was about to say blow the car.
I thought about that, but I was a little scared that it would hurt Hillary more if I rolled badly and shrapnel went flying.
I mean, I don't know where I landed. I just landed somewhere. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, but if I got
Look-
a despair, the natural thing would naturally be to have shrapnel go flying in the direction of Hillary.
Yeah, I've got 3 other people to hit with shrapnel.
Say.
But I'm also, just for clarification as to where everyone is, I'm figuring this is onto a busy street. Or not a busy street, like an actual street. It is right up against the sidewalk kind of building. So you've come down the couple steps up into the door. We're pretty much in the middle of the sidewalk when this happened.
Okay.
And I'm figuring when Hillary got thrown back and planted into the wall next to the stairs going up. Up to the front door of the apartment building.
What I'm going to do with my action then is I'm actually going to... Ooh, that's very expensive. I'm going to try though. I'm going to take 2 strain for my second maneuver and move as I back up towards where Koba is. I'm going to return the favor and try to protect Koba in case blaster fire starts this way.
Which is great, because he can't see you. Does that obscure Koba too?
What?
If somebody who he cannot perceive is standing in front of something, is it as though they are not there and he can see through them?
They are functionally invisible as far as he's concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily make sense optically, but that's how the Force does.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm sort of figuring this would be like Kesh standing to the side and putting some form of field up in front of Koba.
Oh yeah, protect does not obscure anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the question was, since Cash is invisible...
I was just being functionally since he wouldn't be shooting through Cash.
So I moved over to Koba. I rolled the protect force power check, and I failed it with 3 advantages, 2 light side pips and 2 dark side pips. So I'm going to use my natural mystic talent to re-roll that.
Okay.
And try for better results. Of course.
Well, better by some measures.
I succeeded now with 3 advantages, but 4 dark side pips. Do I really want to take more conflict?
I mean, the guy is under a car.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold. I'm not gonna do it. Sorry, Koba.
And I've got a lightsaber,
trying.
and you've probably seen Koba at least sort of kind of block some blaster bolts before.
Yeah.
You were successful against the droids.
Yeah.
Some of it still got through, but
Yeah, I think Cash is too distracted right now, just worrying about Hillary and about the idea that Dalen might get back up from that. Can I still spend the advantages?
yeah, I'll go with it.
Because they don't technically do anything for the check, I don't think.
I'm figuring that, yes, you can use the advantages, but the power doesn't go off.
So I'm going to pass a boost on to Koba, and I'm going to recover a strain.
All right.
And that's where I will end.
Okay. Skip, who had been darting their eyes around, taking in everything that's happening, and then kind of going for their blaster. But then upon seeing the car now on top of the target, realizes that's going to be slightly useless for right now, and rushes over to Hillary. So, thus using my maneuver, and pulling a stim pack out of my bag, which Skip has never used on anyone but themselves, looks at Hillary, like sort of uncaps the stim pack, Hillary, you're real small. I really hope I don't hit anything really major. All right, and stabs helpfully.
Been a while since we've had that.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I've had to deal with this. So
It's just five wounds.
am I just back at 5? Or do I do the math?
I think you're doing the math.
The way I like doing it is you are back at 5.
Okay. I mean, that's wunderbar. Trust me, I support it and I thank you.
I get the question and all that, but yeah, no, I generally consider it, just back at 5.
So does Hillary's tiny face have a fluttering of eyes opening back up?
Oh yeah, no, the eyes open and he kind of rolls his neck, because I figure he's leaning kind of against whatever he hit. He rolls his neck. What hit me? Oh.
Ah! And Skip just like hugs you, and it probably hurts a lot.
Okay. Gingerly.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the round. I am going to flip a dark side point. I am going to use a piece of equipment that I had missed a little bit before, because his entrance would have been a lot more dramatic if I saw this beforehand. The way I'm figuring of what happens with it is you see the car itself, like you can hear an electronic whine, like a hydraulic piston going out or trying to extend into something heavy. And you see the car that's now bent around him move off of him and just sort of roll onto its side. He's on the backside of the car. The car's now on its, like the driver's side door is down now. And you hear a bit of a modulated,
"This isn't over."
And with that, he will then shoot straight up with a jetpack on and curling in behind one of the buildings, very quickly getting out of the line of sight.
Hillary?
Yes, Cash. How can I help you? Can I help you? I'm coming. He rolls onto his side and tries to stand up.
Just making sure you're still with us.
I'm sorry, what?
You can shoot lightning now?
I know. Like, you know his name?
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter. I've been on both sides with him before. She looks down at her claw where, like, the ends of it are a little bit blackened from what she did earlier. Rest assured, he's not a friend.
Well, so much for thinking we might be able to walk away from all this.
I
Let's
feel like
move
I have to
before
throw up.
someone else shows up to shoot at us.
That's a good idea. Can I throw up first? I'm coming.
Cash, carry Hillary while Hillary throws up.
Okay, Cash, who, like, those maternal instincts kick in, she'll, like, pick up Hillary, but make sure he's projected away from her.
He's not actually gonna throw up. He just doesn't know what hurts.
Yeah.
Pick up Hillary with move and, like, hover Hillary, like, a
That's
little
it,
bit away from everybody.
I mean, I could, but it seems like a really lousy way to gain some conflict.
My one question is, do you head back to the Silvered Shell?
I know we have another lead, but he seemed to know more about that ship. Should we go back there to make sure everything is still as we left it?
Yeah.
If he could get into our ship, why would he come after us?
I think we should go find this other person first.
I agree.
Because obviously he knows we're part of the ship, and if he couldn't find the things he was looking for without us, I mean, clearly he couldn't because he came after us.
I think maybe...
Hillary's right.
Alright, fine. Koba, Hillary, you go after the lead. I'm going back to the ship to make sure the thing is still there. Kesh, you do whatever you want to do.
Don't get it out.
I'm not going to. I just want to make sure it's still
Okay.
there.
Splitting up is not a good plan right now.
All right, that creepy guy also was interested in it. There's a lot of people interested in it, and fine.
We could also start making sure it's on us.
So then I just go back real quick and I get it, and then I join you all.
I agree with Koba. We shouldn't split up. Either we should all go back there or all proceed forward.
Then we're going back. But let's
Okay.
be fast about it.
Okay.
I think I can walk, Cash. Just put me down.
Just let me help you for a little bit here, Hillary.
It's not dignified for a being of my standing. Carried about like a wee baby.
All right, let's move.
And we head back to the ship.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on Twitter at Deuterium Ice.
You can find me on Twitter at Blue of the Ken. You can find my Star Trek Adventures actual play, Endeavor Through the Maelstrom, at Endeavor Show on Twitter. Christine is also part of the cast of that. And I do other things, but all of that's on my Twitter in some form, so, you know.
I'm Leslie at LesletGS.
You can find me on Twitter at 12th Night. That's 12th Night with a K.
You can find me on Twitter at RenApollo or on Twitch with my compatriots at MakeBelieveLive.
We are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes.
You can find more episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
We are also on Facebook as The Hydian Way, and you can holocom us at heroes@thehydianway.com.
If you like what we do and want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/thehydianway.
Or you can send the team some Kev at ko-fi.com/thehydianway.
Dornisk 13? Where is that?
Is it a planet or a city? A moon?
It is on planet.
Okay. Oh, they're letters.
It's Arbesh.
My mind went to, I can't remember what they're actually called, but those like cloning guys from Legends.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was, their name also started off with a D. I can't remember.
Actually, I thought it was Dorn.
Okay.
Like,
that would explain.
Like Dorn 81 or something like that.
Dorsk.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Anyway, that's what randomly jumped into my mind.
I mean, with good reason.
Do you think...
Oh.
Go ahead, Christine.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, good. My storm's arriving.
I have squirrels
Everybody gets
right
one.
beside my computer wall, just scratching away. So if any of that needs to be like reset later, I
We're
will
in a
happily
city.
do that.
Cities have noise, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
It's so loud.
I mean, I don't know that Jura has squirrels, but I'm sure they have equivalent.
Just for quick clarification, this is probably going to get cut, but until someone actually throws a punch or the like, I'm not going to go into structured time, but with the thermal detonator, I am counting that as combat has started, as in if someone were to shoot at him, no conflict.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Oh.
That's good to know, because I might be about to do something rash.
Remember that car you threw? Throw it the other way.
And a blast of lightning is going to fly towards him as I want to use Unleash, Ben.
Da, da,
Okay.
da, 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 da.
I think if you're not a dark side force user, it's called Electric Justice.
All right,
Exactly.
I'm
She
going to
is
bring some
unleashing
justice.
Electric
I-
justice.
All right.
I wish I were inventing that, but that's
Wait,
what they
you're
call
not
it.
joking?
I know you're not.
In Legends, earlier RPGs at least introduced Force Lightning, but light side, and called it Electric Justice. Yes.
Oh god.
I mean, it sounds like a
Bushy.
terrible band name from the 80s. Like, this is a real
Does.
thing?
And the sad
It
part
was-
is,
Yeah.
It was dumb.
Oh my god.
Okay.
yeah.
Wait, I thought you all didn't want to go back to the show.
Koba refuses to split the party, which I agree with. Because if you go back by yourself, you're going to get jumped and captured and mauled, and it's all sad.
I have a very good stealth. It's fine. Okay. Well, no, but no.
Just bring you back up to speed. We're not splitting the party. Not at this juncture.
Yeah, Cash was more uncertain on what to do. She agreed with the not splitting up idea.
So, okay, my thought is that Skip would never have this thought because Skip is not smart. But if somebody else wants to bring up the fact that they probably want us to go back to the ship so that we get the thing, or that we reveal where it is, or something, if we don't go back to the ship, then it's probably a sign that it's not on the ship, and they're probably trying to spy on us to figure out where it is. But Skip won't think about any of this, so somebody else has to reason with me or something.
It was kind of what Koba was saying. I don't know. We're walking down a road looking like a pile of crap.
I think we head back to the ship. We collect the holocron. It's probably a trap. We'll deal. And then maybe, if need be, we don't have to take the shell off the planet. We make sure to pick up anything we'll miss.